Across northern Australia, business is booming, driven by the resources sector. But the boom is resulting in a skills shortage. The mining and construction sectors are male-dominated. And while some women are taking on non-traditional roles, they're still in the minority. Genevieve Hussey reports.
My day-to-day jobs is operation and maintenance of gas turbines in here at the Katherine Power Station.
Katie BERTO Williams is making her mark in what has traditionally been a man's job. Inspired by her handyman father, this former park ranger took on an apprenticeship as a mechanical fitter. It's an opportunity she's relished.
I was that excited that I leaped up into the air saying, yes, 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 I've got an opportunity finally. Occasionally I get the comment of why did I choose this sort of trade? And I think, well, if a man can do it, why not a woman?
Women on the land, taking the age-old place which in English-speaking countries at least has always been reserved for man. A practicality in Australia? Well, let's see.
Up until the Second World War, many jobs, including the so-called hard hat trades that provide skills for the resources, mining and construction sectors, were a male-dominated domain.
Working heavy horse teams and complicated farm machinery. Instead of rouge for these sisters, they use ointment for their blisters.
The war opened the door to women, but the change was short-lived.
That was a period when women went into the labour market because of the absence of men. But then when the men came back, of course, the women were expected to return to the home.
Today, industries like mining and construction are still male-dominated.
The percentage of women represented in the construction industry has remained static for at least the last 20 years.
Resource companies that might go to do recruitment fairs and things, and they get approached by people who ask, do you employ women? So just the fact that those questions are still being asked, there is still a perception they're not women's work, so to speak.
Across northern Australia, a booming resource sector is stretching the labour supply to the limit. Nationwide, thousands of apprentices and trainees are in training. But women make up less than 10% of the numbers in resources, infrastructure and mining programs.
In the traditional trades, we don't see an influx of women coming into apprenticeships. There is some data out at the moment that is saying that we've got a 30,000 people skills shortage over the top end of Western Australia, Northern Territory and Queensland.
This truly isn't an industry which should only be run by males. And in fact, being in the industry as long as I am, I'd probably say that especially the women truck drivers are some of the most proficient, safe and productive people I've come across.
At ERA, nearly a quarter of the 500-odd workforce is female. The company says the challenge is getting more women into trades.
Or whether it's plumbers, carpenters, etc., can earn very significant money. So you really are setting yourselves up for a very good career.
At Taminmin College in Humpty Doo, Year 9 girls are trialling a wide range of trades.
They have a genuine taste of what it's like to be in the industry.
Next year, 7 girls will be studying construction, mining and automotive trades.
My grandfather and uncle both work in boiler making and engineering, so you kind of get used to being around it. I just like to get my hands dirty and just do different things.
The college believes stronger links between industry and schools would break down traditional barriers.
It's fantastic for our girls to take up those opportunities and get into those areas, which are also very lucrative career areas as well for them.
Employers can't employ women in the construction industry unless women apply for those jobs.
Industry groups agree schools are the key.
The only way is to make schoolgirls aware that there are opportunities for them.
So this is Colleen, our first controller. We started off with her, and then as we got busier we said we need some more people, so she got onto a friend of hers and she got on a friend of hers.
Chris Boyer runs Traffic Works, a Darwin-based traffic control company that's employing women in what was once a male-dominated field. 18 of its 19 employees are women.
A lot of men usually do it down in Melbourne and Sydney, but the girls are taking over.
Yeah. Are they doing it better?
Far better.
But this company isn't just unusual for its female staffing numbers. Almost all its employees are Irish.
They were beauty therapists, shop workers, office workers. The Irish economy is not very good, so they don't have much to go home for.
You can go steps further with traffic management, and it is an expanding business.
KIRSTY McInnes is one of an increasing number of women showing an interest in the professional side of the resources and construction sector.
I've got a real liking for maths, physics and science, and so I was really drawn into the opportunities that engineering had.
Private certification, quantity surveying, project management as well is attracting women.
Much of KIRSTY McInnes's work has been in remote centres. That can be an isolating experience for women.
They're really looking for family long term, and that is not easy working remotely. Even working in construction, the hours can be long.
Issues to do with access to good childcare facilities, even where there's a town adjacent to a mine. Often these things can be quite difficult and sometimes fairly subtle barriers which keep women out.
A federal government national task force recently examined the labour requirements for the resources sector. Dr. Pattendon says one of the key outcomes was to try to increase female participation.
Rather than going overseas in the first instance, for example, to look at what can be done to really see a step change in women's participation.
Those women who've taken on non-traditional roles and are enjoying their careers are urging others to have a go.
If they were to come through the ranks and have a crack, it doesn't matter what gender you are.
Give yourself the opportunity. You just don't know where it's going to take you. Go for it.
Genevieve Hussey with that story.